I, your favorite and finest transformational coach, Prophetess Asha. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. So I don't know why God told me to come get on, what is this, YouTube, because usually I come on here, I give messages, but on my other channels, I just give you like a peek or just like, I just talk to you. We just kick it. We just converse. And as Asha, Align with Asha is rebranding, I'm stepping more into, my speaking and my coaching and my mentoring. So I wanted to come on here today. I guess Spirit had me come on here today because I wanted to talk about chosen, being chosen and what that looks like and what that means and, how that feeds into how it could, begin to feed into certain delusions and just thinking about how I went from calling myself chosen to calling myself like extraordinary, calling myself expansive, being an expansive being, you know, um, understanding, like realizing, when I say that you're chosen or when you feel chosen, it's really like I'm really coming to understand what that means. You were chosen maybe out of the bunch, out of your home, out of your bloodline, from your family. You probably think differently, you probably move differently, you ask different questions, Um, that's like the key, right? Like that's like the awareness that is supposed to help you understand and be aware of the more expansive being that you are becoming. And what I have seen is that we take the word chosen and chosen individuals and we wear it and we accept like it's like a burden comes with it. You know what I'm saying? Like it becomes to you begin to think like this is a burden, carrying this weight and but spirit has been really showing me it's not about being chosen. It's about you understanding that your life is meant to be lived on your terms and you get to choose how you want to do that. You get to choose how you experience this life. And I didn't understand that, because there are so many ways to distract us and so many ways that influence us, and from indoctrinations from we were young to try to tell us how to live our life and, the way that we should live it, who we should live it with, how we should live it, and as I've been sitting here and because my life is real easy now, you know what I'm saying? Like I was making it real hard because I was fighting against the current. And when I came along this word chosen and being chosen, it made sense. That's why I said it's a place for everything. It's definitely a time when you have to embody this word being a chosen one, but there also is a time when you evolve past that. There is a time when you understand it's not about, being chosen. I'm not set above or set apart from anything because I am everything. Come on, spirit. Alhamdulillah. I am not set apart from anything because I am everything. And when you understand that, you become a being in your own right. And it's not about like, yeah, you may be an empath, yet yeah, you may feel the things, but you don't have to keep going through that burdens. Like people who call themselves chosen, they seem to they look at, I see what it is because it be attachments because they look at, I'm losing everything, I'm losing everyone. People are coming up against me. People, they dislike you for no reasons. People play in your face all day. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I just keep giving and giving and giving. And that's not the burden of being the chosen one. Or that's not it's look, people are gonna do that. People are gonna do that. This remember I said this is your life. It's about what you choose, right? So why do you keep allowing these people? Why do you keep choosing to allow people in your life who make you feel like that or who make you feel less than? It's about you choosing you. It's not about you continuing to look around and think about, all the people who aren't there, all the people who and as I minister to you, I minister to myself. Okay, but these are some of the things that I had to realize. Like, I stopped calling myself chosen because, one, I'm not any different than anybody else, any other being in this world. My life may look different, but that's because of the intention that I have set behind certain things. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, my life, like, and it's so funny because I was sitting there and I had my feet up, I was eating my apple, I'm chilling, and then I was listening to something that said something about a queen. And I was like, you fucking right. I'm understanding my energy. I'm extraordinary. Okay, I'm expansive. I'm an expansive being. I'm able to do anything. So when we start listening to that word chosen, or the way that it's portrayed, you know what I'm saying, you begin to look at those things of, people doing this or people doing that, or this falling. It's about attachments. Anything that is not in alignment with me, it's going to not be here. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be shit involved that is letting me know, as an expansive being, that this is not in alignment with what my spirit wants. And so, how that's played out, they may backstab me, they may ghost me, they may do this, they may do that, they may breadcrumb me. How it played out is how it played out. All right. But it was about, did I see that? And am I choosing to, and it's not to judge them, it's not to say what they're doing wrong. It's not about their life. Me being chosen is about me choosing my life and making the choice to be expansive, making the choice to be extraordinary. You know what I'm saying? I can't help that, you know, if the family that I was born into, that's not what I consider family. That's a choice that I made. So therefore, I don't consider them family. They're my blood, okay? They're what I was birthed into, but what I consider family is different. And I had to make that choice whether I was going to stand on, but like I said, I made choices in my life to have the life that I live now, the peace that I have now. You know what I'm saying? It was a bunch of chaos, you know? And it was because I have always been different. And when I say different, because we're all different, this is why I always say dare to be different. But when I say different, I mean like the way that I process information, the way that I process things, the way that I process trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like, me understanding, because first I had to understand I was chosen. That's why I said it's a place for everything. I had to understand that I was chosen, and I was chosen when I was born here. That's what I also had to understand. Because I am a human being, I am chosen to be born here. And so now, and Spirit has been, I've been in meditation thinking about, because I read this one comment, and they was like, the earth was not created, it was formed. And of course, that hit a chord within my spirit, because I'm like, damn, so that means, because if we're energy, energy, it cannot be created, right? It just transforms, right? So we were never created. We've been forming this whole time. And I think that we got it backwards, because we think that and Spirit was like, when you form something and in its final stage, you have created something. And because the world is constantly evolving now. When it was formed, it began to evolve, and it's still being created to this day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when I say you create your own reality, it's like it's created. All you got to do is shape it and form it to how you want it to go, how you want it to be. All right? You can allow your mindset to do that, or you can take control of your thoughts, reprogram your mind. That shit is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Our minds are very powerful. Okay? So what we think, we really are. And that's one of the misconceptions when it comes to like manifestation. People think like I'm a manifest just because I say it out my mouth, or people think like if I keep saying these affirmations over and over again, then it will manifest. No, you're going to manifest exactly what you're feeling on the inside. If you feel like you're never going to find love, if you feel like there are no good men or women out there, if you feel like you'll never have that job or career that you want, if you fear that your business will never take off, these are the things that are going to manifest. I don't give a fuck how many times you affirm it over your life. You have to already be it and know it and embody that energy. Okay, expansive. We came here, Spirit was saying to me today in the shower, because I was like, damn, because I gave out a message not too long ago about us being a blueprint. And so I always question, always. I even question my own shit. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm talking to God, I'm like, how can, because I really don't be giving them messages. So I was like, how can everybody be like a blueprint? You know, but Spirit was saying everybody is a blueprint of their own lives. You are the blueprint. You get to decide how it unfolds. You get to decide whether you want to be extraordinary. You get to decide whether you want your life to be at peace. You know, but like I said, there are a lot of things that block us. You know, and that word carrying that word chosen, because it seems to come with a lot of baggage. The momentum behind the word chosen has somehow not become a good one. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you don't like, the more you suffer, the more like it's don't work like that. Like the more you suffer, the more you get. It don't work like that. You're not meant to suffer constantly in this life. Maybe that's what you want to experience though. Maybe that's what your soul wants to experience. But I'm letting you know, if chaos, confusion, if that's not something that you want to experience in your life, that it can be not almost non-existent. Releasing into the flow has helped me be expansive. Continuing to be open to everything and attached to nothing continues to help me grow and be expansive. Understanding it's okay for my beliefs to be challenged. Hell, I challenge my own beliefs, and that's a good thing, because then I'm not always in the energy of my shit is always right and I always know what's right and I'm always, no. God can show up in many ways and we are constantly evolving and moving forward, you know? So learning how to have compassion for all of God, understanding really we are all one. And it's funny because not a lot of people think that, but when I say we all are all one, even the ones who operate out of hurt, the ones who operate out of trauma, the ones who operate out of fear, because that's why people do desperate shit. That's why people do shit like that. Some people like it, but that's not for me to even worry about. Okay, as long as they don't try to come over here, that's the only time I need to worry about it, right? So like being distracted on other things, like God has given me the 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 leeway for the past like 3 months where I've been able to just rest, and like it's been a very healing. I've been in a very healing energy for the past couple of months, and I'm so grateful. That's what made me come on here and do this live. I usually do these kind of lives like on Facebook and shit like that, but Spirit told me to get on YouTube, and I'm at a point in my life where I don't argue when it comes to, like, I know when Spirit be like, my intuition be like, I listen. And that's the one thing like that helps me, saves me from a lot of drama, saves me from a lot of chaos. I don't judge people. You know what I'm saying? People come in and out my life. I don't think that they're bad people. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the way that I look at the whole world is different now. Way different than it was when I first started this channel. You know what I'm saying? That's why I can't really, I don't, me reading tarot cards all the time was a lot of energy for me. That's why I had to take months to heal. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that was a part of my journey, but it was time to pivot, and that's all part of me understanding I'm an expansive, extraordinary being, and I get to do what I want and live the life that I want, you know, and understanding how that can look to other people, how that can be triggering to other people, you know. And when people are triggered, this is why I have compassion for people. That's why I don't be mad at people when they be secretly hating. Like, I don't know, people be secretly hating. And it don't matter. I can always tell them like I know, and they still, they move how they move. And I don't be surprised because I already know. That's why I'm not surprised when you're moving how you moving. Spirit already hipped me. Okay? Spirit already be hipping me, So, but understanding that people, like, really the way that I reacted in a lot of ways when I was in my trauma, when I was hurt, when I was triggered. I ain't never do no shit like a lot of other motherfuckers. I would never move how some of these people moved with me. But however, I understand. You feel me? I understand. And it didn't do anything but help me understand myself more. Help me understand that I'm an expansive being. And in order to continue to be an expansive being, I don't need to be chosen anymore. I don't need the validation of, being over something or being superior or being better than other people, because I'm not. I'm not. I'm a person who is self aware, who practices self awareness daily. I'm very disciplined, practical, okay? So, the way that I live my life, I've set up structures, systems that help me navigate my emotions, that help me navigate. It's not like shit don't happen. It's not like shit don't happen to me, okay? It's not like shit don't come my way. I don't care. I put that on Facebook today. Look, I don't care. Let that be a mantra as you go through your day. I don't care. There's nothing, because there's no kind of what my life has shown me being a chosen one is that I'm able to overcome anything. I'm able to overcome any obstacle that comes this way. All I have to do is release attachments to it and allow my spirit to guide me. You know, I was crying out in 2020, crying out. Had all the material. I had money. I had all the material shit, cars, houses, money, so-called friends. From society's perspective, I was very successful, you know? But from my soul's level, okay, I was doing everything like everybody else, and that's not what my soul came here to do. So being able to go against the grain, being able to totally have yourself transform, which means putting away like who you used to be. And a lot of that was an old mindset, you know. It felt good to call myself chosen when nobody was choosing me, when I felt nobody was choosing me. It felt good to call myself chosen when, you know what I'm saying, when it felt like I had a whole bunch of daggers in my bag. It felt good to call myself chosen. And then I started choosing me for real. And I didn't have to call myself chosen anymore. And I don't have to wear that name or that title. I'm above titles. I don't even call myself prophetess. God does. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm above titles, you know? I get to experience life. I have the freedom to experience life. And that's the biggest flex for my soul. And I didn't need millions of dollars to do that, just like I thought. Okay? I didn't need millions of friends. I didn't need millions of family members. Okay? Like I said, I'll take quality over quantity any day, you know? But I had to realize, like I said, I don't need to be chosen anymore because shit, bitch, I'm picked. Okay? I am it. I am her. And you need to know that, you know? The burden of being chosen. Let that shit go. It becomes a mindset. It becomes a mindset that you allow to be, that you keep speaking over your life over and over again. It's time to transform, my beloved souls. The ones who are in alignment with my energy, you're going to feel what I'm talking about. You're going to understand what I'm talking about because you've already been having these same thoughts. We're on the same frequency. So you understanding the things that I'm saying. You no longer need to call yourself chosen or even talk like that. You understand the being that you are and how expansive that you are and that you can live the life that you want. And if you're not, okay, then that's why I'm here to show you that it's possible. Okay? To show you that it's possible. And not to tell you how to get it, because the way that I get it, the way that it works out for me, the way that God moves in my life is specific to my soul. That's why God said each one of us are the blueprint. It's specific to my soul. And the only way that I will completely know that is if I tap in and trust the process. Trust it. Trust it. You know, my friend was saying today, y'all see different versions of me. Some versions you may see me in go mode. Some versions, I may be in chill mode because that's life. That is the balance of the masculine and feminine. I've learned when to go, 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 to put in that work to go, and I've learned when it's to chill time. Shit. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and watch TV. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and do something fun. Okay, live this life, balance it. We came here to experience it, and all of it ain't supposed to be struggle. Let that shit go. Okay? Once you understand you deserve happiness, you deserve peace. Because when you understand you deserve it, you start moving in different ways. Okay? You stop allowing people to play with you. All right? You start letting things go, forgiving things, having compassion for things, rising above things. Like when a person really heals and is really evolving and really expanding, it shows. You become really unbothered about a whole bunch of shit. The ways of this world, it's like the ways of this world are concerning to my human side, to my appeal to humanity, you know? But like when I look at it from a higher level, I want to focus on solutions, you know? Always distracting us with the problems. I understand the problems. I don't want to keep talking about that shit. That's why they keep growing. And that's how it happens in our life. When we keep talking about certain things, that's how those things keep growing. That's why I want to sit around people who talk about what? Well, I was going to say matchas and quarter zips, but I'm talking about, what download you got today? What download from Spirit you got? Let me tell you what Spirit told me. Let me tell you what signs I saw today. Let me tell you what messages, like, I want to start talking to people who, let me tell you what solution I got today when I was in meditation. I want to talk to people who move like that. I want to talk to people who, I want to build like a homeless shelter. I saw this plot of land. It was about 80,000, and I saw these tiny homes. They was about, $10,000 a piece. I want to talk to people like that. I want to talk to people who are constantly talking about solutions, who are talking about evolving on how we can fix the issues. Okay? So we are expansive beings. Being that, talking about chosen and being chosen, from chosen, okay, to extraordinary, from chosen to expansive. All right? Allow yourself to expand. Never allow yourself to get stuck in any belief or mindset. There's always something higher, there's always something more to learn. It always gets deeper. Okay? That's the great thing about being a human. We don't know everything. And we constantly are going to keep evolving and learning till we die. Okay? Yes, never give up. Welcome in, Emma. Welcome. You new? I don't go live on YouTube much, but I'm starting to. But anyway, y'all, I love y'all so much. All right. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you ever want to contact me, then my email, prophetessasha@gmail.com, or alignwithasha@gmail.com. You can send me an email. But I love y'all. Know that you are more than chosen. You are extraordinary. You are an expansive being who is able to create whatever reality it is, because whatever is true to you is true to you, and nobody can tell you differently. But y'all go forth with the power of source behind you, and all those so-called L's were never L's, baby. They were always lessons. And if you are a person who constantly is self-aware, and you take accountability for your actions, and you take accountability for your life, then you'll understand that it's never, nobody can do nothing on the outside of you. The devil is busy. People love saying that. The devil is the one that's inside your head. So stop giving them something to play with. Go forth with the power source behind you. Dare to be different. Dare to dream your destiny. And y'all stay the fuck aligned, divine, and fine. Peace, y'all.